in the running, get as many points on the board as you can.
Kylie Cullen coming out for her first attempt on women's #1. See if she can read this one well. Definitely capable of it.
Yeah, there's no surprises in the final, Megan. All 6 women
are so capable.
Are very capable.
It really comes down to if you do read things quickly the right way.
And you're also coming out of a very stout semifinal round where, you know, the top 2 spots got 2 tops and everyone else only got 1. So you're feeling mentally a little beat up. I haven't touched the top of a lot of boulders this weekend. I really am excited to go grab some finish jugs and hear the crowd get behind me. You know, we heard on the, I believe it was Hugo talking about, you know, playing off the emotion of the crowd and being careful not to let it carry you away. But everybody wants to top a boulder and hear the crowd erupt behind them, and there has not been a lot of that this weekend.
Yeah, it's been hard to get those tops, definitely making them work for it. Kylie chose to stand up on that start hold and then kind of stab out to that small foot. I think might be a little more difficult just because the foot isn't amazing and there's only so much texture on it. So yeah, definitely a better adjustment. She wasn't really so stable on the textured part of the start hold on that attempt, so that's an easy fix for her next attempt.
Yeah, just a little bit too close to the edge, trying to create space to get all 4 limbs in there.
Yeah, it's a small space.
Yeah, you want to leave a little bit of room. And then, yeah, the earlier reach out, that's going to serve her much better.
See if she reads that foot swap here. It's definitely, it sets you up to not have to do it so dynamically. Nice use of the volume there too to press and alleviate some of the pressure on her foot. Didn't read the foot first, but nicely into what was likely the intended beta from the setters.
Yeah, the walk through. And then
setting up for that jump.
Yeah, Mira didn't get that left foot up. And Kylie making no mistakes, almost maybe even over jumping that.
Yeah.
You're excited after getting through the slow climb to get to pop a little bit here.
Now that one red scoop hold she's on is a lot better than the one she's going to. Lost a bit of the tension there on the toe hook, but still has plenty of time to get back up there. Didn't seem too taxed getting there. Let's take another look at that jump. Definitely more jump than she probably
Full
needed.
bend in both arms.
Really smart, and we saw Mira do this as well. Cupping the left side makes it so you're pretty locked in when you land on that hold. So
yeah, I don't think there's a lot of risk of them flying off of that hold.
Well, unless they don't cup it, that might make it a bit harder. A little more risky.
Which is one of the elements that we want to test.
Yes.
We want to test power, we want to test coordination, we want to test how your mental game is, and we want to test how you deal with risk. Are you willing to take on some of the risk that's involved in making the committed moves on a boulder? It is one of the tools in the route setter's bag of tools in order to cut this field from 100 plus to 20 to 6 to 3 for your boulder.
100%. Making, I think, quick enough movement through the boulder right now to make it to the end before that time. You just saw her take a peek at the clock real quick. Nicely into there.
Now you want to, you don't want to be too far away from the finish when you hear the beeps of the last 5 seconds. Getting a little bit further over and maybe a heel hook. Yes, that's going to lock her. And a great save.
Still had to fight there. Nicely done by Kylie Cullen.
Excellent composure at the top of that boulder to not rush to match. Took the time to put the heel up, even with that clock ticking down in your peripheral vision. Real composure.
So cute. You see her mom there filming her.
Front and center.
It's nice too, because like you're saying, it's so much closer in here. So it's not that often that the audience.
As well. So far, this is proving to be a little bit stout.
This angle and these style holds always kind of make you think it's going to be quite difficult. I will say it's playing out to be harder than I assumed. That being said, I'm a little biased towards pinches. They might be my favorite hold.
Same. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, oh, a couple big pinches. This is my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that kind of skews your view a bit, but that cross definitely looks pretty difficult, and I don't know, especially after 2 other rounds of climbing, one of them being early today, that also changes things. So
this angle gives you a pretty good idea of what you're trying to, the steepness you're starting with, and what you're controlling on the way out on the pinches. You're going to go left pinch first, and then is it time to just make a decision?
Gonna go with the heel. Oh,
doesn't want to stay. Oh, makes it work.
Wow,
okay.
Really nice.
She's made a liar out of all 3 of us.
Well,
but that's a good
we
thing.
didn't say it was impossible. We just, thought maybe not the way, but apparently working.
Funky little half drop knee there.
I like that this part of the boulder gets quite technical and you don't have the feet that you really want and you're forced to get a little uncomfortable.
It's cool to see a change of pace mid-boulder because it really tests the adaptability of climbers as well.
Kylie Cullen getting everything right so far, just making that bump.
This would be
fighting
really
through.
big for her.
Yeah, this would be a huge flash.
Also, kind of a tricky finish move, I think.
Yeah, it looks very similar to almost to that men's semifinal boulder with the side pull in the same wall area.
And without the big left foot to jump into.
Right.
Saw that. I mean, she made about 4 different hand decisions to try and get turned around enough where she felt comfortable. Never got the left foot up. Are we thinking the left foot needs to come up to be able to pull into that finish hold, given that there isn't anything to jump into?
I think it's tricky. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I think that the foothold, you can see that it's facing left, which means that it's going to be really hard to generate off of that. And I think that, honestly, maybe it's just there for establishing on the finish. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
If it is for going to the finish, you'd really need to be able to rock your weight onto it, and it is a very bad hold.
So maybe we're thinking it's sort of a hop and a stab, and then you're going to come around the corner and use that to be able to match. Stout, no matter how you slice it.
This seems really bizarre and mysterious, honestly. It's just awkward positions up there.
Kylie taking a good rest. Get some of that blood flow back into forearms. A quick check of the skin. What have I got on my fingertips?
It's interesting because the finish hold, obviously the left side's really good, but you couldn't palm on that right side, which makes it hard to say exactly how they should approach getting to that finish hold. And because we can't feel what they're feeling up there at all, which always makes it hard to predict. And I didn't see a single forerunner or a root setter on this one.
No.
So wow, they were only tweaking the men's when we were in here.
Yeah, but they had done all the tweaking of the women's a little bit earlier.
Oh, man, zaps your energy.
Yeah.
Which, walking away at this point is, I think, a good idea just because it is so powerful, and she did so well on her first attempt, especially with this scoring system. You're not going to really gain much. Like, I don't know. I mean, actually, everyone in this round has pretty good wingspan.
And the ability to grab holds.
Annie's 5'3", but she has a +5 still, so maybe, maybe, I know.
I think that everyone here has.
No, they all do. Here, let's just run through it really quickly.
Please.
AJ's 5'9" with a +3. Mira's 5'9" with a +4. Kylie's 5'5" with a +5. Kyra's 5'4" with a +4. Chloe's 5'9" with a +0, but she's 5'9".
She's 5'9".
Yeah. Okay. And Annie's 5'3" with a +5. So maybe it doesn't matter because it kind of evens out. I don't know if I could span that first move though, or not first move, but that important move to get to that dish. It seems really extended.
Quite, but maybe there are other ways as well.
That's what I was thinking, and I don't know if we're going to see that because I think they're all going to do it this way. But
yeah.
I mean, Kylie
doing exactly the same thing.
Well, she went from a farther hold that time.
And look at that time. That's a really bad heel hook. She is making it work.
I do kind of like this press section. It's so different from those opening moves. And not like a gross shoulder move. It's like a little more friendly because we've seen a lot of gross shoulder moves these past couple of years.
Yeah, no kidding.
And this is looking good here, just to be able to almost lay back into this zone hold.
Wow.
Good climbing on her first attempt. Kylie Cullen staring down a flash of boulder number 3, crimping the top of this sloper.
Trying to get her hip in.
Yeah, getting maybe a hip scum.
Oh,
not quite. Not quite. So obviously we're seeing that hold is not good enough to simply hang from or create opposition from that right toe. The hip scum might be enough. Maybe it does need to be that step in.
Also, her shorts, I feel like maybe if she had leggings on, but them being looser, they're going to move more as she's trying to put that hip scum in. So I don't think that's going to work to her advantage. You know when you try to knee bar and all of a sudden you're like whatever pants you're wearing because they're like looser. And you're like, oh, I wore the wrong pants. Such a problem. Oh, I like her chalk bag. It says unstoppable. That's cute.
She's taking a good amount of rest. So this is, as we were talking about a little while ago, it's hard to not throw yourself at a boulder sometimes. But although maybe it doesn't on the surface look less physically demanding than the pinchy steep boulder, she's taking an equal amount of rest between tries as she did on that boulder. And really, I mean, when you get to the top, you want to give yourself enough time so that you're definitely going to get back there. You don't want to short your rest time and come off in one of the strenuous moves right before it. And now we're getting into that balance point of, do you give yourself a window to slip or do you give yourself a one shot to go?
I feel like it's a pretty quick boulder though, and she climbed it quite efficiently. And at the end of the day, you don't want to take 3 attempts. Don't you want to take 2? And I think she knows that she could do it.
It definitely looks like she's, setting up her timing to be like.
I just said that, and of course that happened.
Wow, Megan.
Welcome to the commentator's curse.
Be careful what you wish for.
Man. God, this has happened like 3 times tonight.
This move is just tensiony enough to be. Everything is careful. You can't relax on a boulder like this. That's an excellent transition.
See if she can figure out just how she wants to get into this finish hold. I looked at that finish hold earlier and I was like, woof.
Yeah, when the zone is the hold before the finish, that the finish move is going to be heinous.
Yeah, I actually told the setters, I was like, oh, another zone right below the top. Yeah. Interesting.
Kylie is going to come up just short on that second attempt. Really didn't have enough even to stick it and slow down and establish. So just showing you how nasty the finish move is on that boulder. Trying to win all the time. That moment to be excited for a fellow competitor to top a boulder, it's real. It's not being faked. That is absolutely psyched for someone that you are happy to see do well.
The climbing community has always been quite the supportive community. It's not, everybody wants to win. Everyone wants to climb their best. They want their best to put them on the top. It doesn't happen all the time, but you're still excited when your friends are doing well as well. And that's what's so cool. It's a pure supportiveness that happens. And it's not really you against each other. It's you against yourself and the boulders or the routes or the speed climb, whatever it is.
And here we see Kylie entering into that battle. She's a little bit more leaned back. So you saw where Mira had that. You just changed that position subtly enough to not be getting pushed away so much from the wall. Leaning backwards is always hard. Back to the wall, although counterintuitives can sometimes create way more advantageous positions. And when you're dealing with the friction of trying to decide what foot positions are going to keep you on this hold, there is, a pretty significant kickback here. And you just have to find a way to stay in the space. So this is better immediately for Kylie. She's going to sit out, although maybe it feels like you're facing the wrong way. It's just a more comfortable position to stand up out of.
And you don't really want to spend too much time here because you got to feel how the jump feels too, right? You're trying to get into the position, and if you spend too much time looking for that perfect position, you might miss the fact that you could maybe jump from multiple positions because the hold they're going to is very good. So she definitely needs to commit to something. Back to what Melina was saying earlier about commitment, it's really important.
Yeah, excellent point is that until you try the jump, and there we get a bit of an effort, you don't know what you need to generate from, and the imperfect, although uncomfortable, is going to be just good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't always get to feel exactly right. And there's a line between what the boulder is demanding of you and what you want to do. And you don't always get to do what you want to do. You have to do what the boulder is asking. And they're even now immediately into the commitment. Not perfectly established and just deciding, I'm going to take the jump from here.
Yeah, because this kind of a move, you really have to feel out a little bit. So it's important to put yourself in the position to try it and not just fiddle around looking for comfort.
She will want to get a zone here to stay within a fighting chance of staying on the podium. The race is very, very tight. You know, we have 3 climbers with 1 top and 3 zones. Right now in 3rd position, but with Kyra and Chloe and Annie.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
behind.
you really want to make sure you get all of the points you can get with those 3 behind you.
All right, Kylie Cullen getting down to the wire on boulder number 4.
See if she can... Ooh, I liked that. That was a good idea. I was thinking about that too, like maybe don't spend too much time and just kind of jump under it more so, if that makes sense.
Use the bad part of the dual text hold and then just take that as your balance point.
Ugh.
And now, I mean, the fatigue is real.
Yeah,
You've been trying that a bunch of times in a row.
She's looking pretty tired at this point. She's definitely going to give it another go, though,
because why not?
I mean, it's the end of the round.
10 seconds. A zone matters. 5, and Kylie Cullen is going to be
make that happen.
Finishing her round. Maybe a little disappointed with not getting up into the zone on this boulder. Or, sorry, definitely a little bit disappointed. You always want to get up as high as you can on every boulder. But 1 top, 3 zones. She is
Still
now
a good round.
Yeah, she's now looking to see what you're going to get out of Kyra, Chloe, and Annie.
Crazy, we're down to the final 3.
Yeah, here's a quick look at your top 3 right now. Mira, Annie, and Kylie sitting at the top 3 positions just now.
And another interview.
And another interview. We got Annie Sanders at the top with 2 tops and 4 zones. Chloe Koskoy, 2 tops and 3 zones. Mira Capicchioni, 2 tops and 3 zones. Kylie Cullen just out of it with 1 and 3. Kyra Condi 1 and 3. And Alex Johnson with a hard-fought round, getting out with 1 zone to round out our top